Radio WRVA, the voice of Virginia.
At exactly 9:33, one radio host throws away the script, opens the phone lines, and invites Virginia into the conversation. The results? Completely unpredictable. The responsibility? Entirely Rich Herrera's. The 933 Experiment. This is News Radio WRVA.
I get a big question, Super Dave. Why is this all my responsibility?
Because your name is on the show.
Chaos ensues just about every day. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd say 99% of the time.
Because you don't know what's gonna happen. And we said, hey, I want to take telephone calls. They said, yeah, good luck, pal. We're not going to do that. I said, come on, let me take telephone calls. I want to talk to people. I said, you realize the mayhem that you could unleash on News Radio WRVA? Yeah. I said, okay, then you're responsible. And you never know. Some days it's great. Some days it fails. Some days we got a ton of telephone calls. Some days it's just absolute crickets. You just never know. And that's why we call it an experiment, because I just don't know what's going to happen. So I threw this out this morning at 6 a.m., and it's our Herrera Asks Facebook question of the day. We've been getting text messages all morning long on this. Dave, if you can get that little piece of sound that I gave you as well from the WNBA this morning. So in case you haven't seen this, we've been talking about this, and a bunch of people like, Herrera, shut up. Nobody cares about the WNBA. 100% right. But what you do care about is what goes on in the culture clashes that we have around the country, and the WNBA happens to be the flashpoint right now. So in case you missed it, let me give you the whole rundown real quick. Caitlin Clark comes to the WNBA. She makes it a bigger league. More people come in to watch it, including young girls that were fans of Caitlin Clark when she played college basketball. She comes to the league. She's a superstar. A lot of the veteran players don't like her. She's getting beat up. She has a teammate named Sophie Cunningham. She stands up. She actually becomes an enforcer like they have in hockey, so people don't keep knocking Caitlin Clark to the ground. She does an interview with ESPN.com. She says, hey, we should protect girls and little girls in women's sports, and biological males don't belong there. All of a sudden, now she's the focal point. Everybody's mad at her. So now the little girls that came with Caitlin Clark to watch the WNBA are starting to show up and show their support for Sophie Cunningham because she stood up for them. Let me catch my breath. So now in the stands, probably about 10 days ago, I guess it was, there were two girls. They bought courtside tickets. They wore shirts that said XXXY. It's an athletic brand that supports women's sports, girls' sports, saying keep biological men out of women's sports. They wear this. They're holding up a sign that says, Sophie, thank you for standing up to us. Owner of the WNBA team walks over, curses at them. Nobody steps up. Nobody says anything. Nobody defends these two 16-year-old girls. One of them is in tears. Oh, I wish I were there. Now, fast forward to a couple nights ago in Atlanta. Sophie Cunningham comes in. Mom and daughter go to the game, and they wear the XXXY athletic T-shirt. During the game, they were asked to either cover your T-shirts up or leave. They're given WNBA T-shirts because somebody complained that they had the XXXY shirt. Now, someone else also had a shirt that they put up on the Jumbotron that was pro-trans athlete. They were asked to put on the shirt, cover the shirt as well. So I want to make sure I'm perfectly fair and balanced here. But it comes back to one of my points. When we talk about culture, counterculture, I say this, you get mad at me, but I'm telling you the truth. Right now, we are in a cycle, and the pendulum goes back and forth, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. It's faster than it used to be, but it still goes back and forth. And right now, as a conservative, you are counterculture. You're starting to see a little bit of it moving in news with some of the different anchors you see leaving, the people you see moving around. But basically, the left controls academia, college campuses, you'd have to agree, Hollywood, television, music, and large part the news media. I mean, you just had, was it Terry Moran said that there were no conservatives, there are no Republicans that worked at ABC News? Does that surprise you? The same people that give you The View? So I asked this question this morning as we began the program, and here's when I'm going to start taking your telephone calls, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. Here's the Rich Herrera question. Ask Herrera. Herrera asked, I should say. Would you wear a shirt in public that identifies you as a conservative? Would you feel comfortable wearing a MAGA t-shirt, 47 t-shirt, a Republican t-shirt, a Glenn Youngkin t-shirt? Would you feel comfortable walking around rocking a conservative t-shirt in America today? Now, I know what happens is conservatives, because basically, I don't want the smoke, you don't want the smoke, we cover ourselves in as much red, white, and blue as we can. I'm used to wearing whatever team I work for. I always wore their gear every day to work. So here, dude, I love America, so I wear as much red, white, and blue as I can. But if I walked into certain places, would I feel comfortable walking around with the Ronald Reagan t-shirt? Would I feel comfortable walking around with a Donald Trump t-shirt? Would I feel comfortable walking around in a shirt that identifies me as a conservative? If I walked around with that Charlie Kirk Freedom t-shirt, would somebody scowl at me, give me the finger, or worse, confront me over it? 833-804-1140. Honestly, answer that question for me, and I want the phone lines to pop right now. And I've got a lot of text messages that I can read because it went crazy on our text line this morning. And I'll tell you, from my perspective, I pick and choose. Like, I got a 47 t-shirt that I got. And again, remember, I'm not MAGA. I'm a conservative Republican. I'm a Reagan Republican. That's how I self-identify. I'm a Reagan Republican. I always have been, always will be. Believe in the free market. I believe in small government. I believe this country gives us the best opportunity to make something of ourselves with hard work. It gives us an opportunity. I live the American dream every day. That's why I'm a Reagan Republican. But I will tell you, as conservative as I am, as much as I love this country, I know there are times I'm not going to go poke the bear. I'm not going to ask for the smoke by walking around wearing my 47 t-shirt that I got at the Redneck Riviera bar that's owned by John Rich in Nashville. It just, I'm not going to do it. Somebody's going to walk up, somebody's going to say something, somebody's going to spill something on me. There's just, you can't wear it freely in public and feel like you're going to be safe. Like, I don't think anybody's going to walk up and punch me in the face, but I think I could be accosted. I think I could get dirty looks. I could get sneered at. Now, there's times I'll wear it because I know that it's going to happen and I don't care. And I just want to make that point. Again, why do we wear what we wear? We wear what we wear. A friend of mine who is a DA told me this once. It's what we project. So if I want to project, absolutely, I'm 100% patriotic, I'm going to wear the red, white, and blue. You want to project that you're a Commanders fan? You dress head to toe in Commanders gear. You want to project that you're a conservative MAGA Trump supporter? Then you put on the Make America Great hat again. You want to project that you're far left? You put the buttons on, you dye your hair purple, you have 20 million nose rings, and you got a big shirt that says Democratic Socialists of America. You're projecting that for everybody to know. But does it go both ways? Can I walk around wearing a Make America Great Again t-shirt and not be accosted, looked at, leered at? By the way, the mother and daughter that had to put on the t-shirts, well, they're standing there giving an interview. A very, very inclusive, what I assume was liberal woman walks behind and gives them all the finger. That tells you all you need to know about how inclusive everybody is. Your thoughts, 833-804-1140. And I know some of you were probably afraid to even pick up the phone and call. Oh, what happens if I get found out? What happens if somebody says something? What happens if my friends find out? Well, I'll tell you this, since I started this job, I have friends that I've lost. They're friends, people that I know that are like, I can't be friends with you anymore because of your political opinion. I don't think I've ever ghosted someone because of who they voted for. I don't think I have. In fact, I know I haven't. But I've had people that have ghosted me because of that. Somebody says, MAGA merch is totally different than being a conservative. Trump is not a conservative. He's the opposite of a Reagan Republican. No, Rich, your MAGA Reagan would be spinning in his grave. Again, we could define this all we want, but it's not so much that Reagan versus Trump, because I think there are differences between the two. The fact that can you wear something that identifies you as a conservative Republican in 2026 freely and not have to think twice about it? And the fact that there's silences here all day long says, Rich, you're on to something. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. And the tough part is nobody wants to admit it, because then you know that you're being silenced. And as an American, we have free speech, but do we really? If I can't wear something that proclaims that I'm a conservative and feel comfortable walking down the street, driving down the road, can I put a Trump sticker, a Republican sticker, a GOP sticker on the back of my car and not know that somebody's not going to come vandalize my car? I can't say that. I can't go say I can park at Target with a big old GOP vote Republican sign in the back of my car and not half expect to have my windows smashed when I come back. Going to happen? No, but do I fear of that? Yes. That means the other side, since cancel culture and what we see right now is winning the hearts and minds and putting the fear of God into people that are afraid of, it's just not worth the hassle. And that's what I'm getting all day long. Well, I keep going with this, but I want to take some telephone calls. And Dave's screening them right now. 833-804-1140. 833-804-1140. A bunch of people talking about the W. It's an activist league more than ever. Yeah, it's 100% an activist league. And now that people that are coming in, because it was always about women's sports. Well, now these little girls want to come in and watch it.
Jeff.
And they're not welcome in there because they don't fit that inclusive agenda. Again, I said it this morning. I'll say it again. Inclusivity, and anybody that uses the word we're inclusive, you're not. It's double speak for I'll include you in my group as long as you agree with me. Yeah, big tent, small tent. As long as you agree with me, I like you. If you don't agree with me, then we got beef. 833-804-1140. Where am I going to go first, Dave?
Jeff.
Let's go to Jeff on line one. Hey, Jeff, welcome. You're on News Radio WRVA. Hello.
How you doing? How you doing?
What's up?
Well, I'm out there on your T-shirt you were just talking about. When I see a T-shirt, I like getting it. And yes, I had President Trump's T-shirt, never surrender. But I want to be proud of myself, but I just wear them, if you will, because I just like them. And that's as far as it goes. So.
Okay.
But but it's just something people are scared to talk, people are scared to wear anything. I take a T-shirt, any T-shirt I hate.
But the fact that we're having, Jeff, thank you for the call. The fact that we're having this conversation just proves my point, and I appreciate you calling into the program. That just makes my point. That can you have that conversation? Can you wear that T-shirt and not be afraid's not the right word. The right word is, do I think twice? I think that's probably the better way to put it. Do I think twice about that? And here's how I know that I'm hit the nail on the head, because I've never gotten this many text messages about anything, any one subject we've thrown out there, and people are hiding behind the anonymity of the text message line because it's easier to do than actually calling up and saying the words out loud. Yeah, Rich, I am concerned if I put a Make America Great hat on or sticker or T-shirt on. I'll wear it around the house, but I'm not going to wear it out in public. And the fact that I've gotten so many people blowing up the text line right now, and very little that will actually want to put their name on it, because I'll tell you this. It's like the first time I went to confession. I didn't make my first communion and confession until I was an adult. No, I knew all this bad stuff I'd done and stuff I had to make atonement for. But until it actually came out of my mouth, it wasn't real. I tell people that all the time. And you own it when you say it out loud. And I know for people right now that I'm hearing from on the text line, they're saying it, but to actually admit it by saying it out loud is completely different, because then you'll really understand why I mean when I say we're counterculture, we really are counterculture right now. But to admit it and say it out loud, pretty difficult. Pretty difficult. Okay, I got one here I was going to share with you. Thank you for the topic. Wish I could have called, but I think it's much harder for youth. Regarding this liberal tent, the big tent, the bigger circle, the bigger the tent, the bigger the circus, from Greg and Mosley, because you're seeing that on the Democratic side. They're like, oh, we want the big tent. We'll take all the Democratic Socialist America. But he goes, bigger tent, the bigger the circus. And by the way, that's what we'll see this afternoon when we see some of these results come in. All right. Dave's telling me, shut up and talk. Got to end the show because Brian Kilmeade is ready to go as soon as we're done. All right. What do I got to remind everybody of, David? Okay. Number one, we're announcing that we're doing a second annual. This one's pretty cool. The second annual Hitting Prostate Cancer Out of the Park, coming up on September 8th. It's Tuesday, CarMax Park. We'll be out in front of the CarMax Park entrance, the main entrance in center field, in conjunction with Virginia Urology. You'll be able to get a free prostate cancer screening test, the PSA test, that day. Second annual. Really proud that we're doing this. We initiated it last year after we found out that Joe Biden had cancer, and I found out there's not many prostate cancer screenings for people that don't have insurance, and even for people that do have insurance, it's tough. We're going to make that possible with Virginia Urology and the Richmond Flying Squirrels. So that's coming up, and I'll tell you more about it, but I'm just proud that we're going to make a difference. We're going to save somebody's life. That's number one. Number two, again, reminding everybody, you want to see me grill. You say barbecue out west, you say grill back east and in the south. You want to see me grill Saturday, Tom Leonard's. I'm telling you, come by. I'm cooking tri-tip sirloin steak sandwiches. They're delicious. It's a Central California recipe. I think I told you guys probably know my grandfather was a ranch hand on the Barden spread in California. And this is what we would eat for big parties. We go to the rodeo grounds, we go to the posse, the sheriff's posse grounds, have a big old barbecue with all the cattlemen before the rodeo. And this is what they would serve. I'm going to serve it. TJ said I can use their grill. I'll be out there cooking. Saturday morning, we'll start cooking, start serving at 11. I'll start cooking way before that. But the money we make that day will go to Wreaths Across America and my friends, River City Wranglers, so we could donate more wreaths for the holiday next year. All right. Now he's telling me, shut up, Herrera. Get out of the way. Our national anthem brought to you by Freedom Services, training the biggest gun store in town, located in Mechanicsville.
10 seconds.
There's a reason why I get up every morning without fail, because there's some things I think we're standing up for. One is always going to be my family. The other is always going to be this country. That's why we do it every morning here on News Radio WRVA.
Please stand for the national anthem of the United States of America.